Welcome back, everyone. How you guys doing? Another Overwatch video coming at you today, aka another Overwatch roster change video, because they just keep coming. There's just so many in the offseason. But this Friday, the 15th, is the last day for OWL teams to actually have their complete roster, so they will be slowing down soon, all these roster changes. But we have a crap ton to look at, so let's just get straight into it. The Shanghai Dragons picked up Fleta from the Seoul Dynasty, and this is right after Seoul picked up Creative, Profit, and Gesture. And I mean, Seoul already has 3 DPS players, and I would actually argue that Fleta might be better, or would probably perform better than some of those DPS players on Seoul. But this is actually pretty decent change for Shanghai Dragons, because they've got Ding and DM, who are 2 decent DPS, I should say 2 pretty good DPSs, and they have Izayaki, who is an amazing support. The Atlanta Reign signed Edison from Korea Contenders just after a few days ago. Atlanta dropped 2 of their players, Nalar and Dako, which leaves those 2 players still looking for a team, and that probably leaves Edison playing as a DPS for Atlanta. And from the way things are looking, I think that Atlanta is going to want to make some stronger pickups if they want a better run through next season. The Dallas Fuel picked up Doha yesterday, who comes from Element Mystic, which is a Contenders team that has a pretty solid record as they've won several Contenders tournaments. And while Doha was playing for Element, he did really well, actually. And with him joining Dallas Fuel, that means that they now have Decay, Gamsu, and him joining within the past few weeks, which is 3 Korean pickups in a row. And they also have Closer, who's been with them for a while now. And this is just after they dropped OGE, which I think is fine for the team because they have two strong tanks anyway, with Gamsu and Note. The Los Angeles Gladiators signed Mirror as a DPS alongside Paintbrush, both of them coming from Contenders, and this is them joining a team that just recently picked up OGE, Space, and Birdring, 3 amazing players, and this is also the same team that has Shaz and Void, 2 other amazing players. So from the looks of it, it seems like the Gladiators are going to stand a much better chance this time around after last year, where I feel like they didn't quite perform as best they could. The Los Angeles Valiant just dropped Fact Fiction after having a rough season, so they definitely had some changes that needed to be made, but I'm not sure if dropping him was the right move, because I think there's still going to have to be a lot more changes to be made, because they just dropped Kareev, Agilities, and Space, probably some of the best players on that team, with Kareev and Agilities actually going to the Toronto Defiant. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again, but I am very excited to see how the Toronto Defiant does this year. Next up, the Vancouver Titans have released TZ, when obviously they just went to the grand finals and they lost against the Shock, but that still means that they have a very strong team, and they really don't have to make that many adjustments, but that's going to leave TZ looking for another team. The Guangzhou Charge are making huge changes as 5 people have left the team, those being Hotba, Fraggy, Bishu, Only Wish, and Rise, with Rise being the only one out of those 5 people that are retiring, and that leaves the other 4 people still looking for a team. The Guangzhou Charge are kind of also in a weird spot because they only have 6 players on their team, and only one of those is a tank, so they're going to have to find another tank, and they're going to have to find just straight up another player because they need to make that 8-player threshold to actually compete in the Overwatch League. And finally, the London Spitfire announced that Quatermain and Bedosin would be leaving the team, and we're not sure where they're going yet, but they're going somewhere, and they're looking for a team, so that leaves Spitfire also in that weird spot because they only have 3 people on their team now, so they need to pick up 5 more to meet the 8-player threshold, which I don't really know how that's going to work out for them because they have 2 days left to do it. So I'm expecting a huge announcement from Spitfire within the next couple days because they should be signing a crap ton of players to come. That should be most of the roster changes within the past few days, but there's just so many to keep up with. It's so ridiculous. There's too many. But tell me which ones you guys are excited to see, which players you want to see on which team, and which team you guys think are going to be strong during the next season of Overwatch. Thank you guys for watching, though. I will be seeing you guys soon. Take it easy, everyone. I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.